It was an amazing career. You gold records all through Megadeth. I started listening to Megadeth around the Cryptic Writings, that era, and then with the Risk, and then went into the whole back catalog. But the change in music, was that just progressive? Like Rust in Peace, in my opinion, one of the best heavy metal albums ever. The progression to make it more rock and less guitar solos, was that a conscious thing or?
Deeply laid out in the book. I mean,
Yeah,
very clearly laid out in the book. But the short answer is, I think any, and this is not only Megadeth, this is in any situation
yes,
in my career and probably most musicians' careers, once they start to reach the next level in their success, whether it being going from a, a local band to playing out of state and then playing out of country or going from indies to a major label, once you start making that rise, you start to see, hey, there is ways that we can make this even bigger.
yes,
And now we got our foot in the door. And now if we just kind of go a little bit more into that commercial direction, we can see the big picture. We can see the big success. It's just one more step away. So you're consciously trying to make that bigger step. Okay, this album went gold. How can we make it go platinum?
yes,
And then when the album goes platinum, okay, let's take that a little bit farther. And then you see it go double platinum. Now you're in a multi-platinum situation and you're seeing even bigger things. Okay, we're staying on, we're staying in five-star hotels now, and we have a luxurious tour bus. How do we move that up to a private jet? Okay. And
yes,
you start to see each little step of success. And sometimes it works, sometimes it bites you in the ass. But the pursuit of success and the higher step on the ladder, that's always there.
yes,
And it takes a lot of luck to keep moving up. And when you move down, it's really hard to climb back up once you've kind of fallen down. And it hurts
yes,
and it's embarrassing and it sucks. And so all of that's in the book in great detail.
yes.
That's what makes the story interesting, really. I mean, if it
And
was
that, and
all
that's
success,
yeah, and that's what I was gonna say, Marty. Like you really opened up on it, and you told the truth rather than stories and alleged. And no, you said no bashing, just the truth. I think that's a
yeah.
great
And
quote.
the thing is, and no excuses. You know what I
Yes,
mean? A lot of things, when you don't sell, you say, well, the A&R record, the A&R person got fired, and they put a new guy who didn't know what to do. The label didn't support us.
yes,
Um, a million excuses
yes,
why things didn't happen. Sometimes you got to say, look, we just sold out. The fans weren't buying it. We failed,
yes,
and when you say that, it opens the floodgates to a lot of honesty and a lot of good reading, to be honest.
yes.
And so I try to focus on that.
And what's interesting, as a fan, that was so sad, and I was crushed that you left Megadeth, but the next album was back to their heavy roots, big guitar solos, double kick, back to their hardcore heavy metal styles. So if it takes something like that to rejuvenate them, then I guess that's a positive thing, right?
Yeah, I didn't really follow what they did, but playing heavy metal music is what Megadeth does best. And we kind of peaked commercially at Cryptic Writings, I think, as far as having like hit song type of things,
Yes,
songs that get on the radio, songs that bring not only guys but girls. And on that tour,
Yeah.
There were a lot of girls on that tour, and there were a
Yes.
lot of festivals that we played on with very commercial acts. So I think that was probably the peak. But as you can see in the book, Megadeth is metal, and they do
Yes.
metal the best. So we
Yes.
had a little success with commercial music, great. But so after I left, I think maybe they felt, let's go to back what we do best. I don't know what
Yeah.
their decisions were like, but they did a great job.
Yeah. And that brought me into it. I was seeing you on MTV, and I'm listening to it on the heavy metal radio stations as well. So yeah, what I found maybe the most interesting in the book is you telling us very in depth about how you left Megadeth. It's great, and I want to get your opinion on a if somebody is in that similar situation where they're playing music in a band. It doesn't have to be a successful one, but just playing in a band and they feel like they're not creatively, but they don't want to leave the band because they don't want to let their bandmates down. So, what advice do you have for people in that situation?
It really boils down to how much do you believe in your art?
Yes.
How much do you believe, not necessarily believe in the possible success of your art? How much does that art mean to your personal well-being, your personal character? How much does it mean to be able to put your own John Smith's music out there and focus on that? How much does that mean? Um, you just got to weigh that in, you know what I mean? Um, and it's hard. The hardest thing was, the music business is a complete crapshoot. It's like the lottery. And even though Megadeth was kind of on the downslide when I left, we were still definitely selling gold.
Yes.
A gold, that is nothing to sneeze about. And like I said in the book, it's like, you're a fucking idiot, dude. You're leaving a
Yeah.
gold selling band. You got nothing. You're gonna make this weird exotic music, and no one's gonna buy it. It's too weird. It's too exotic. It's too foreign, or whatever. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for money? So those are all the things in your mind, but I think an artist has a responsibility. A true artist with the definition of artist is just going to follow their artistic muse, however unrealistic that is.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean, if you're born to make a certain kind of music, that's what you're going to do. Um, some people, and maybe more intelligent people, will say, look, I know my art is super eclectic. I'm going to fight it out in this situation that I'm in because I can make a paycheck, I can pay my rent. But in my case, the artistic muse was just too strong. It won out. So I think each person has to judge for themselves how good they're going to feel when they have the freedom to do whatever the hell they want. And when they put their name on it, it's 100% theirs. And that's what did it for me. And
Yes.
it forced me to work so hard. And in the book, you'll see, how I eventually far eclipsed all the success I did in Megadeth, albeit in a much different forum
Yes.
in the Japanese world of music and entertainment. But that's exactly what I wanted to do. So
Yes.
it was a win-win for everybody. I was very lucky, making it in music it's a crapshoot. It's winning the lottery. It has nothing to do with talent or how hard you work. All luck. But as far as making that decision for advice, you just have to think of how much you want to dedicate to how much that art means to you.
That's so inspiring, Marty. And I had it's not music related, but I had a similar situation too. I made the decision to move to China, to come and start just something fresh. to do something different and be a creative and see how far I could push myself, learn a new language just like yourself, and I have I've got more confidence, and I've really it's changed my whole life for the good. But I still have people that maybe not criticize, but they still don't understand why I made that decision. So, do you have family? Do you have friends like that? Like when you did decide to move to Japan?
I think my family and friends were all supportive. Of course, they'd probably prefer that I was closer, lived
Yes.
closer. I think the criticism, if there was any at all, it might have come from fans because, fans and myself included, if you like a particular era or a lineup of a group, you want it to stay that way forever. It's
Yes.
yours. I mean, I feel that same way about the makeup era of Kiss. That's mine. I own that. I own those
Yes.
guys. I
Yes.
don't want them to split up. And the four original Ramones.
Go on.
I don't want, the new guys breathed new life into the band and were fantastic. Those four guys, I don't want, it's mine. It's my
Yes.
image. So I totally understand the fans who were not happy when I left Megadeth. And
Me
it
too.
kind of makes me happy that I created something that they love so much that if a part of it leaves, they're upset about it. So I'm happy about that. I don't like disappointing anybody, but in your case, I completely get it because to make such a big career change and a life change to go to China from Australia, it was obviously something inside of you that had to be done. It's your life and you knew you had to do it. It's not something that you can easily do. It takes an insane amount of effort, just fortitude and will, and just a lot of hard times and putting up with stuff where you're in just a weird and awkward situation.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened to me in Japan. You can read it in the book, but I'm sure you understand it because it would be so much easier to stay in your country,
Yes.
no cultural issues. But life is only once. You got to do the crazy shit, man.
That's
You
right.
got to do the things that are interesting. You got to write your own story. And that includes doing things that are very counterintuitive,
Yes.
and some people are going to be against you. But you know what? People are jealous because people stay in their state their whole life. And when people branch out and do things that seem ridiculous, they're just jealous because it's so fun doing crazy shit.
Yes.
But it takes balls to get out of your comfort zone. So I get it, and like people should follow your lead. And sometimes you have a crazy dream. Oh, I'll never do that crazy ass dream.
Yes.
Fucking do it.
Yes.
I'll
Exactly.
never
Yeah.
go to Egypt. Fucking do it. You
Yes.
only live once. And if you fail, so what? You've got a great story. But
Yes.
maybe it's part of your life. Maybe for you, being in China is an important part of your life, important enough for you to live there and learn the language. But maybe it wasn't. Maybe someone would think the same way and go there and try it out, say, you know what? I'm glad I tried it, but I'm going to
Wasn't for
go
me.
home. It wasn't for me, but like, why not try it?
Yeah.
And sometimes you're going to discover an amazing thing that you never would have discovered. So if you get anything out of my book, and I'm sure your story is very similar and equally inspiring, if you get anything out of it, just do the insane things in your mind, whether you're prepared or not, and see where that takes you because it's very a short period of time that we have to do these things. We're healthy, our brain is intact. Can't hurt to try this stuff.
Yeah. And there's so many things that you've done in Japan, and we could spend another 3 or 4 hours talking about that. But I heard that you've been in a movie recently. You've been on talk shows, and it just goes to show that if you put your mind to it and you take a risk, you know where it can take you. So Yeah, your achievements after Megadeth have been inspirational for me, Marty. So really
Thank you.
appreciate it. So just to finish off, I have one or two fan questions, if you don't mind, and then we'll finish off
Sure.
that. Okay. So we've got Eddie from Argentina who's living in Shanghai. Says he's going to the show in Shanghai. He wants to know how did you become a fan of River Plate FC? And have you ever tried to play soccer before?
Big shout out to Eddie from Argentina. I love Argentina. Can't wait to play there. Aguante. Um, so yeah, I suck at all sports. I love sports. I would prefer to be a sports person than a rock person. Like most normal kids, sports is the dream. And I wasn't as bad as you think. I sucked, but I wasn't like throw like a girl kind of suck. I just sucked. I'd be like maybe 50 out of 100, maybe a D minus sports player. Um, and I played soccer. I sucked. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm very, very good friends with Pipi Piazzolla and
Oh,
Piazzolla family
right.
and all of the Escalandrum people and the people playing Piazzolla's music in Argentina, and they're River Plate fans. And Pipi gave me a River Plate jersey, and so I'm an honorary River Plate fan. But I don't want to alienate the other fans of the other soccer teams. I just love Argentina, so I don't want to get in any fights.
Yes.
Um, that's the story.
This one is from Dylan in Eugene, Oregon, US. Was Marty a Jackson guy pre Megadeth?
Yes, way pre-Megadeth. My first Jackson guitar was the first really good guitar that I actually purchased. Um, I was in a band called Hawaii and living in Hawaii, and we were indies, kind of an underground band, and that was my first good guitar. And Eugene, Oregon, there's a big, big story in my book about Eugene, Oregon that I won't say here. But Eugene, Oregon is a very important landmark in my story and in Megadeth's story. So check that out. But Jackson, yeah, I was a Jackson guy when they first started. They were the first company to make shaped guitars that are very, very high quality.
And the last one, Stephen from the UK, also living in Shanghai. What was it like working with Jeff Loomis' solo album from Nevermore?
Oh, Jeff is a good friend of mine. I just saw him a couple months ago. We played together in I don't know if we played. Yeah, we did. We played together at Metal Allegiance. I've known him for a long time. He played on one of my records. I played on one of his records. An absolutely fantastic, humble guy, a wonderful guitar player. Not that this would ever happen, but if there was ever to be a Cacophony reunion and Jason Becker couldn't do it, Jeff would be the guy I would call
Yeah, right.
because he's like kind of cut from the same cloth. He kind of learned a lot from me and Jason and took that into the stratosphere with his own playing. So he's a super, super guitar player and great guy.
On that note, Marty, I could talk to you for another 2 or 3 hours, but you're on a busy schedule, so I will let you go. You're truly an inspiration to me, and I really look forward to seeing you in Shanghai next month.
All right. Thanks, Craig. I'll see you in Shanghai.
All
Looking
right.
forward to it.
Thanks,
Take
Marty.
care.